What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Chris. It's your boy, Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money, saving money, building generational wealth, and financially emancipate yourself from generational poverty. On this channel, everybody, I give you a six-figure MBA level worth of investing and financial knowledge for free here on YouTube. And the things that people typically spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn in business school and in grad school, I give it to you for free here on Financipation. Also, I want to give a shout out to Killer Solutions. They're one of my sponsors. If you need digital marketing, website development, or someone to essentially edit your YouTube videos, they're the best in the business of meeting all of your digital needs, okay? And please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop new content. For this particular podcast, everybody, I want to talk about something I'm kind of starting to see a lot more of, essentially. And in regards to that, it's amazing to me how people with high incomes typically go broke. And I'm not just talking about professional athletes either. I'm just talking about people that are lawyers, doctors, engineers, and things of that nature. And with that, let's get started. I want to talk about mistakes that high income earners make and why they go broke. The first reason high income earners go broke is that they fall victim to lifestyle inflation. So imagine this scenario for me for a minute, okay? All the other partners at work, they all are driving $100,000 Maseratis, Beamers, and Lexuses, and you've been driving the exact same paid-off beater for the last 10 years. Now, the car is paid off, but it doesn't look anything like the rest of the partners. And you keep being told by everyone at the company that you need to look like the other successful partners in the company. So unfortunately, you go out there and you buy that $100,000 Lexus like every other partner at work. And because of that, you have literally just tanked your ability to build generational wealth for probably the next 7 or 8 years. Sadly, this is becoming a lot more prevalent with a lot of my higher income friends because their image that they are told they need to uphold is to the point where they're told they have to look successful in order to be successful. And there's no correlation to that. I constantly do financial consultations here in Miami with highly affluent lawyers, surgeons, and entrepreneurs that make well over $500,000 a year. But they are literally dead broke because they live paycheck to paycheck and they spend over $1 million a year trying to maintain an image to impress people that would never like them to begin with. The first reason high income earners go broke is that they succumb to lifestyle inflation and they buy expensive things that they don't need to try to keep up with the Joneses. Next, the next reason high income earners go broke is that they take high risk with their investments. So paint this picture for me, okay? Because you're the best in the state at doing what you do, and you're arguing with the best people in that region doing what you do, you have developed a certain level of arrogance or swag or confidence. And because you've been highly successful in one industry, you automatically assume it's gonna make you highly successful in another industry, like investing and finance. And this arrogance is where the disaster starts because it leads you once again to think that you can beat the market consistently and you become a day trader. Based on my research in the finance world and my educational pedigree with me being an MBA, it absolutely is not in your best interest to take unnecessary risks in the finance world and in the stock market. Studies show that 90% of the time, over a 15-year period, people that day trade lose money and they cannot beat the 8 to 10% the stock market provides in returns every year. In fact, studies show that you are going to lose money literally over 90% of the time if you jump in and out of the stock market, and you're going to pay a lot more in individual taxes and in capital gains taxes. People, you are taking unnecessary risk and you are most likely going to lose millions with the M dollars and pay a lot more once again in capital gains taxes if you jump in and out of the stock market and you try to beat the stock market and you become a day trader that basically buys individual stocks. So the next reason high income earners go broke is that their high incomes and egos push them to take unnecessary risks with their investments for their retirement portfolios. Next, the next reason high income earners go broke is that they assume they'll always have a high salary. This is one of the things that I see happen to a lot of my construction superintendents, my lawyer friends, specialty surgeons, people like that. Because if you are in those industries, you are in an insanely high amount of stress levels every day, but you also make insanely high salaries. So imagine you're in a career where you make $300,000 a year, right? And you work 70 hours a week. You are constantly under insane stress levels every second you're in the office and every day, and you rarely see your family. Now, let's say you're told that in order to make partner and get that tremendous promotion that you want and have your salary doubled, you are going to have to start working 90 hours a week. And now, because you're doing that, you're making $600,000 a year. I mean, you have a mortgage, you got the promotion, congratulations. But because you have that mortgage, that really nice house, high credit card debt, your children's private schools, your wife has very expensive taste, those new Lexuses that you bought, and the new Teslas you're going to buy for your kids, you're always working these crazy amount of hours, 90 to 100 hours a week. But you have to keep working that kind of time because you have to maintain the lifestyle that you built for your family. Because at the end of the day, you want your wife to have nice things, you want your kids to go to the best schools, and you want to keep living in that beautiful house that you bought for your family. Well, everybody, I'm gonna keep it real with you. The human body is not meant to work like that. And we as humans are not machines. We are going to eventually break down. Whether it be you having a nervous breakdown, a heart attack, or you just flat out burned out and can't even get yourself out of bed on Monday morning. My advice to everyone is to not assume you will always be making the high salaries that you are currently making. And the next reason high income earners go broke is that they assume they will always have a high income and don't take into account the realistic idea that you eventually at some point will burn out. Next, the next reason high income earners go broke is that they neglect their health to make a lot of money. I kind of touched on this one a little bit in the last point, but your body and your health is your number one tool when it comes to financially emancipating yourself from poverty and building generational wealth. And this is something that I see a lot more in the world of engineers and a lot more of my type A, techie type individuals, because at the end of the day, everybody, high performance type A type people tend to unfortunately neglect their health to pursue promotions and wealth. They spend all their health essentially chasing wealth, and then years later, they have to spend all their wealth trying to get their health back. Now, obviously, you will have to put in the hours to be successful in engineering and finance and construction and healthcare. But everybody, I don't care how busy you are essentially trying to get your promotions and make your money, you need to maintain your health. And as a certified personal trainer, in addition to doing Financipation and in addition to being a mechanical engineer, my advice to everybody listening to my channel is that you need to work out 3 times a week, lift weights, eat healthy, and drink a lot of water. And additionally, I'm also going to say that you have to know when it's time to say no to more in corporate America. The next reason the high income earners go broke is that they neglect their health chasing money, and then they end up spending all of their money to get their health back. Don't do that, everybody. Next, the next reason the high income earners go broke is that they never learn the tax code. This is actually one of those extremely interesting things to me about high income earners. And it's one reason why I was so adamant about consuming financial podcasts and by reading books, getting my MBA and things of that nature. And full disclosure, if you are watching Financipation, you're in the perfect place because I teach you how to essentially legally lower your taxes as much as possible, okay? It absolutely blows my mind how many high income earner lawyers, doctors, scientists, engineers, and entrepreneurs that I meet who have literally no idea about how to legally lower their taxes, and they have no financial literacy to speak of. And once again, everybody, if you don't have any financial literacy, you are literally in the best place because here at Financipation, I have over 100 videos for free and podcasts where I teach you about how to build generational wealth. So whether you work at McDonald's or you run a highly successful startup, you need to learn the tax code and you need to learn how to legally lower your taxes. For example, if you max out your 401k every year, here in 2024, that means you have just legally lowered your taxes by $23,000. Another example, hire a lawyer, start an irrevocable trust for your kids so that you can legally skip the probate and the estate taxes when you die. And most importantly, start a business that has a legal EIN number that means you can legally write off your business expenses for things that you purchased to run your business. Additionally, you should also be familiar with the respective incomes, federal and local tax rates in the state that you reside and make educated decisions on where you decide to build your career and retire. These are all simple steps, everybody, you can do to legally lower your taxes. And the next reason high income earners go broke is they never improve their financial literacy and they never take the time to learn the tax code. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop new content, everybody. Next, the next reason high income earners go broke is that they hire expensive financial advisors who lose them millions of dollars over the course of their investing lifetime. People, learn how to invest your money without needing a financial planner so that you can avoid capital gains taxes and brokerage fees. Over the last 20 years, the average financial planner has only averaged 4%. And over the exact same time period, the S&P has averaged 10%. Do the math. 96% of financial planners, hedge fund managers, and financial gurus cannot beat the stock market over a 15-year period. And when you have financial planners to invest your money, your capital gains taxes are going to go up and they're going to tax fees on it. So not only are you getting an inferior product, you're paying a lot more money for it. The next reason high income earners go broke is that they waste money hiring useless and expensive financial planners who have more interest in building their own commissions instead of making you money. Next, the next reason high income earners go broke is that they buy way too much home. This may be the biggest mistake that I see high income earners make because at the end of the day, everyone wants to live in a nice home. Here at Financipation, I make it very clear. I advise my clients to not buy a home until they can pay off 100% of their debts and to never buy a home that is more than 2.5 times their annual combined household take-home pay. I also advise you to not buy a home until you can put 20% down the value of that home so that way you can avoid the private mortgage or PMI insurance. So for example, if you and your wife have a combined household income of $200,000, I would advise you to not buy a home that is more than $500,000. Unfortunately, however, that is not what normally happens. Most realtors, which are driven by commission, will gladly sell a $1 million home to a couple that has an annual take-home pay of $200,000. And they'll do that because A, it's gonna make them a lot of money, but B, you have essentially screwed yourself because you are essentially living in a house that is 5 times your annual salary. The realtors will tell you to ignore putting down the 20% to avoid the PMI because this house is a heated swimming pool and it's in the best school district in the state. And because you care about education, obviously you want your kids to go to the best schools, right? And because you work hard, you deserve this nice home. And plus, owning a home is always a good investment, right? Right? Wrong. The realtor forgot to mention the PMI charges. They forgot to mention the utilities and the home maintenance for this particular cost and the HOA fees for this 30-year mortgage that you unfortunately just locked yourself into. And because of that, you have now essentially locked yourself into a 30-year mortgage that is roughly 45 to 50% of your take-home pay. And you are now what we in Financipation call house poor. Buying too much home is a cardinal sin among high income earners. And the main reason high income earners go broke is that they buy way too much home and they become house poor. The next reason high income earners go broke is that they don't have the proper types of insurance. As a lifelong athlete, I like to think of money in terms of offense and defense, okay? If you want to be successful in any sport, you have to have a good offense and you have to have a good defense. A high income is like having an extremely good offense, and good insurance, which protects you, is like having an extremely good defense. So for example, let's say your favorite NFL team scores 60 points every Sunday because they have a high-powered offense. Let's say your defense gives up 70 points every Sunday. That means you're not gonna have a very good football team. In the same respect, if you make $1 million a year, but you have to spend $2 million a year because you don't have the proper types of health insurance, car insurance, or home insurance, you're not going to build any wealth. Every year, not having proper homeowners insurance costs Americans over $60 billion with a B dollars in money. And according to a 2024 study done by USA Today, there are around 1.6 trillion with the T dollars of unprotected property values here in the United States of America. Medical bankruptcies and health insurance related fees account for 67% of all bankruptcies in America. So people, get proper health insurance and only work for corporations or companies that can provide you and your family the proper types of health care. Lastly, every high income earner should get term life insurance and not whole life insurance. Many scoff when I say that there is no permanent need for life insurance to everyone, but this is a lie that is pushed by the insurance companies that you need permanent life insurance so they can keep milking you for all their commissions. And I have an entire podcast on why, in my opinion, whole life insurance policy is an absolute scam and you should not be using it. Check it out, okay? Check out that podcast. The short of it is this: if you spend 20 years of your prime earning years maxing out your Roth IRA, maxing out your 401k, maxing out your HSA, and putting as much money as possible from your side businesses into your brokerage accounts, then you have self-insured yourself and you don't need a whole life insurance policy. And the next reason high income earners go broke is that you don't have the proper types of insurance to protect yourself when ish hits the fan and when life happens. The next reason high income earners go broke is that they do not have the proper types of insurance to protect themselves when disasters strike, such as for your home, automobile insurance, or for your health. And lastly, the last reason high income earners go broke is if they lose their families chasing high incomes and larger promotions. So this one has literally nothing to do, honestly, with money. And on the surface, you could talk about how expensive alimony and child support are, but that's not really the angle I'm going to go to. Here at Financipation, everybody, wealth to me is a lot more than just making a ton of money. It's about what are you doing to prepare the next generation for the money that you make. It's about who you lay next to every night. It's about what do your kids say when they see daddy walking to that door, they see mommy walking to that door. That to me is what wealth is truly all about. And I can't tell you how many millionaires and billionaires with a B that I've had dinner with or that I've met, and they told me straight up, Chris, I regretted losing their families over their careers. Or how many millionaires and billionaires I met who said they would give away all of their money just to have their son or their daughter call them because they have not spoken to their kids in over 25 years and they have never met their grandkids. Generational wealth, everyone, is all about your generations. And it makes literally no sense to amass hundreds of thousands or possibly millions of dollars in the bank for you to have no one be there for you when you're about to die, and for you to have no one to mentor on when you're basically about to retire. Generational wealth, everybody, is about your generations. And it makes literally no sense to amass hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars in the bank if you have no one to share that money with. You have no one who's going to be there with you when you get sick and you're about to die. Fellas, I don't know how to say this. Never lose your wife or your lifetime partner chasing money. Ladies, never lose your husband or your family chasing a promotion. And most importantly, everyone, never lose your kids or the people that you love chasing the bag. I have worked with and met hundreds of men that had tears in their eyes who were telling me how much they regretted losing their family and their wives chasing that promotion. Yeah, if you're a 6 or 7 figure entrepreneur or you're a professional, you're going to have to work some extremely long hours and you are occasionally going to have to miss some things, but don't miss the important things, okay? Keep in mind, if you die of a heart attack, your company is going to replace you in 3 to 5 days. I don't care who you are. If you don't believe it, the president of the United States died, the vice president will be there in less than 2 days. And the only people who are going to remember 10 years from now that you missed that wedding anniversary because you decided to work a double shift is your wife. The only people that are going to remember that you missed their birthday 10 years from now because you decided to work a second shift are your kids. Going broke isn't about losing your money. It's about losing your friends, family, members, and kids. And the last reason high income earners go broke and they die miserable is because they lose their wives, their kids, and their families chasing money and chasing promotions at work. Everyone, don't let that be you. This channel, Financipation, is all about making money, saving money, building generational wealth, and financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. You can book a one-on-one session with me at any point. The link is going to be below. I'm not giving you financial advice on this channel. You have to make responsible decisions based on thorough independent research that you do for yourself and conduct your own independent research for all the financial choices that you make, okay? Thanks for listening, everybody. Please follow me check me out on my website at www.therealfinancipation.com. Please check me on Instagram, @thereal_financipation. My Spotify is Financipation, and my TikTok is Financipation. My Facebook page as well is Financipation, and check out my financial blog, Financipation. And check out some of my digital e-products below as well. And hit that notification bell. Please like, please comment, please share, please subscribe. Thank you, Killer Solutions, for all these dope graphics. Please like, please comment, please share, please subscribe. And it's your boy, Chris. I'm out. Peace. Peace.